I am Michelle, your emissary of the unsaid,
And I am Isaiah, your librarian of liminal texts.
and this is Shifting Veils, a place for those drawn to the unexplained, possibly paranormal, and always strange.
In this episode, we open the doors on the Voynich manuscript and the Rohonc codex, two codices that refuse their name. Enjoy the journey. Please like, share, and follow, and send your own spooky story to our inbox for possible inclusion in an upcoming show.
A codex from the 15th century, the Voynich manuscript, reads like a private grimoire, from a lost order, penned in an untranslatable script by a hand that has vanished from history. It arrived in modern sight in 1912 when Wilfrid Voynich unearthed it among forgotten volumes. Its pages drift through time, once housed in the collection of Emperor Rudolph II, later passing through a clandestine. Is that how you say that word?
Clandestine.
See, I was going to say I always feel like I mispronounce it because I do. Clandestine Jesuit sale, leaving only fragments of provenance like footprints in fog. Inside, an unknown tongue coils across vellum, refusing every attempt at translation. While the imagery summons an other world, botanical forms that do not grow on any map, star forms that chart no known sky, and naked figures submerged in green baths and looping tubes, as if enacting rites of a vanished cult. Scholarly essays accompany what we have been able to learn about the Voynich manuscript through alchemical, cryptographic, forensic, and historical inquiry. They outline forensic tests on ink and vellum, surveys of plant and astronomical motifs, cryptographic analysis that catalog patterns and attempted decryptions, and archival research tracing ownership and provenance. Those studies clarify methods, constrain dates, and sharpen hypotheses, yet they stop short of a single conclusive explanation. Deborah Harkness frames the volume's stance in her introduction. Rather than resolving the enigma, the book draws readers into the mystery itself, inviting them to examine evidence, weigh interpretations, and inhabit the space where certainty dissolves into wonder. Written in Central Europe at the turn of the early modern age, late 15th or early 16th century, the Voynich manuscript, named for the Polish-American bookseller Wilfrid M. Voynich, who brought it to light in 1912, remains shrouded in debate over its origin, language, and precise date. Its pages fuse the aura of a private grimoire with the bristling curiosity of a provincial herbarium. Ink drawings and vivid washes in greens, browns, yellows, blues, and reds depict unfamiliar plants, human figures, and schematic scientific diagrams that read as both ritual and experiment. Scholars continue to argue whether the book is primarily magical, medicinal, or scientific. Its lively, hand-drawn imagery and undeciphered script ensure it keeps offering questions rather than firm answers.
I'm going to be honest, I was expecting you to say scholars continue to argue whether the book is primarily magical, medicinal, or scientifical.
I would not have been surprised.
The manuscript's imagery groups into 6 distinct, thematically linked sections that read like a ritual atlas of a lost science. 1 is the botanicals, drawings of 113 unidentified plant species, each rendered with detailed stems, leaves, and roots, yet none matching known flora. The second is astral and astrological plates. Astral charts and zodiac emblems, Pisces, Taurus, Sagittarius, radiating circles, suns and moons, courtly figures, and nude females emerging from pipes or chimneys, and tableaux that blend starcraft with rite. A third part is biological scenes, a multitude of miniature nude female figures, many with distended abdomens, shown bathing, wading, or floating in fluids and linked by networks of tubes, capsules, and channels that suggest ritual, physiology, or allegory. A fourth section is cosmological medallions, 9 elaborate roundels, some spanning multiple folded folios, depicting concentric and ambiguous landforms that gesture toward maps, mythic geographies, or celestial schemata. A fifth part is pharmaceutical plates, illustrations of over 100 medicinal herbs and roots, frequently paired with jars or vessels colored red, blue, or green, indicating preparation, storage, or materia medica. And the sixth part is recipe-like continuous text, long columned pages of undeciphered script that read like recipes or entries, each marked in the margins by small star-like floral sigils that separate items or incantations. The sections combine practical motifs, herbs, vessels, and charts, with ritual and surreal imagery, nudes, tubes, and medallions, so that the manuscript feels both like a compendium of craft and a liturgy of the unknown. The manuscript remains a sealed chamber of ink and vellum whose pages hum like a buried hymn. Its script is a voice from nowhere and everywhere, each line a strand of language that resists translation and insists on being listened to rather than explained.
Leaves unfurl scenes of a private ritual science where unknown plants, bathing figures, and star maps converse by a grammar we have not yet learned. Colors and fold-outs act as gestures, calling the reader to trace tubes and medallions as if following the choreography of some lost liturgy. Reading it feels like stepping into a nocturnal garden where taxonomy and prayer have braided together, where recipes become charms and charts become maps of inner worlds. The manuscript does not yield a single truth. It offers a field of possibilities, a constellation of hints that rearrange themselves with every careful eye. Hold the manuscript and you hold a door whose hinges creak with history and imagination. The closer you peer, the more the book asks you to become an apprentice of wonder, to chart what you can, name what you cannot, and leave room for the manuscript's more patient knowledge to work on you. Take it away as a relic, a riddle, or a ritual object. In every mode, the Voynich manuscript keeps its power. It will not be solved once and for all. It will be encountered, returned to, and lived with, a quiet, continuing summons toward curiosity and the mythic habit of asking the world to speak.
But the Voynich isn't the only discovered mysterious and ancient text that has yet to be deciphered. There are many more. One such book is the Rohonc Codex. It reads like a relic washed ashore from a collapsed kingdom, a compact, densely written volume whose script loops and hooks like the calligraphy of some lost tongue. Its small scenes of battle, worship, and procession hinting at a world that refuses to be named. The Rohonc Codex surfaced in Hungary in the early 19th century and became part of Count Gustav Batthyány's library before he donated that collection to the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. Material evidence in the paper, ink, and illustrations suggested an earlier date than its discovery, and the manuscript entered the archives as a document with uncertain origins. The codex contains 448 pages, tightly filled with continuous lines of text, and 87 illustrations. Scenes of battles, landscapes, and religious icons that show elements of Christianity, Hinduism, and Islam. Some scholars infer the images may reflect a culture where those faiths coexisted. The pages are compact and densely inscribed, with images appearing as recurring visual markers alongside the writing. So it's just like we were saying all the whole time, that's all religions basically the same thing. They all work together.
Mhm.
The script is written right to left and combines straight and rounded letter forms that resemble, in part, Old Hungarian letter shapes. Those surface resemblances have guided comparisons but have not produced a firm reading. The codex uses an unusually large set of distinct signs, far more symbols than a typical alphabet. Its high symbol count complicates classification as a simple alphabetic system. Scholars have cataloged recurring signs, run statistical analyses, tested phonetic correspondences, and proposed transliterations and translations, None of these efforts has achieved wide acceptance, and no definitive translation exists.
What are your thoughts on it? Do you think that these are written in languages that just don't exist anymore?
As possible, there are quite a few lost languages out there. Um, but what I think about when I like actually read about this, and this happens more than just what we're while we're recording now, um, is these are like you know how when some kids, I don't know if you or a lot of people out there did it when they were kids, but you know how when some kids while they were young and growing up wanted to invent their own language.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It
absolutely.
makes me wonder, and because some people, Aurora, the musician, she's a good example.
Mm-hmm.
She's in her 20s, I believe, and she still uses a language that she created when she was a child,
Yeah.
and she uses it in some of her songs. So I would wonder if somebody had created a language, just somebody made their own personal language, and wrote an entire alchemical book but in their own language. So that's why it's so untranslatable.
Right.
But it could just be a lost language.
Possibly. And the hints of all the different religions would just be the influence of living among
It,
those, you
yeah,
know.
I was gonna say anybody
Mm.
can like write about those that's well traveled and
Mm-hmm.
has had conversations or interviews with people
Right.
that kind of have the same sort of ideals and have a different belief system.
I mean, the Voynich manuscript is really pretty. I'm gonna put photos of it, I think, on the website in case people haven't seen it. But it is really pretty, and I love the illustrations. Um, it's just wild. If this is just some made up language, and all of these experts and scholars have studied it for so long.
Well, and that kind of sits with the Rohan's Codex too, being like if it's like a made up language because it's got, as they said it when we were reading there, is like it's kind of got like root sort of symbols or
Hmm.
little signs of having a root alphabetical system where they see it in the Hungarian language or alphabet.
Yeah. Yeah. Proposed explanations include a medieval chronicle.
Well,
Uh,
hold
so
on. What do you
that
think? We
oh
we went over what I thought, but
I said what I thought. I
oh, did
thought
you? Oh,
I
that
think
I don't
maybe.
know if you did.
I think it could be a made up language. I think it could be a dead language. I It could be a secret code,
Yeah.
but for what? I mean, maybe it appears to be all these medicinal things and stuff, but it's actually not. Maybe it's something completely different or even sinister, made to look, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
I
I
mean, that's
mean,
pretty far fetched. I don't really believe that, but
who uses the word grimoire or grimoire without,
well, I use the word grimrar because I
that's
can't say the word right, but rar.
who uses the word grimoire, without it, having some darker tendencies.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. More likely, I think it's probably uh, a created, made up language or just dead language. I just know the illustrations are really unique
Hmm.
and uh, pretty. I think it's really pretty text.
It, it would fall into your art style likes.
Right? Yeah, it would. I mean, I would
Hmm.
hang pictures of it on my wall.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
it's really pretty. Um, I don't know what it looks like to to people that don't appreciate art or that are not artists. But to me, I think it's rather beautiful and unique looking.
Hmm.
Um, Proposed explanations, they include medieval chronicle, a ciphered liturgy, an encoded local history, or a hoax. The author, date, and purpose remain unresolved. The Rohonc Codex remains an unsolved manuscript held in institutional custody and continues to invite research and debate. Scholars disagree about how to read the Codex, including which direction the text runs. One researcher, Marius Adrian Woncha, suggests the script is Old Hungarian and that the book's content is largely about New Testament topics. This idea is known as the Old Hungarian alphabet hypothesis. That's a long term. Old
Hmm.
Hungarian alphabet hypothesis.
Well, you've been stringing those 5-letter words together for a while now.
uh, yeah, I didn't make that up, though. You can't blame that on me.
Well, $5 words just being the bigger, fancier, swoopy words, not made up.
Right.
It's not like you're out there purchasing fake words or anything. It's
Another belief is that the text is actually a variation of Brahmi script from India and that it should be read left to right, top to bottom. This is known as the Brahmi Hindi hypothesis. Some believe that it is written in Latin dialect of Dacia. And finally, it has also been proposed by some that the pages, when turned upside down, are a Sumerian literature. Geez, they just looked at it every direction, didn't they?
I mean, that's a smart way to do it.
Just turn
Ima-
it
im-
upside down.
I say, imagine if it was like a bunch of, like maybe it's a bunch of mixed languages mixed, all mashed together, and they're writing it in a bunch of different language alphabets.
Maybe.
Because that's probably what they're doing there, is because if they're not able to translate it, but they're seeing roots in some of these words, they're like, oh, well, this looks like this from this language, and this looks like this from this language. I mean,
Hmm.
that's kind of what they're doing.
Yeah.
But the upside down thing, yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys, you know what? Let's turn it upside down.
In my head, I'm imagining the science, the guys sitting there, like just kind of slowly turning the page, like left to right to upside down.
I just feel like that is, I could be wrong. Maybe it's really intelligent of them. But to me, I think that's just like last ditch. We can't figure this out. Let's turn it upside down. What's it look like now? You know?
Well, I mean, sometimes you're sitting there going, "Do I have this upside down?" But sometimes we pick up the instruction manual and we're looking at it and we're like, "Oh, well, shit, I got this upside down."
Did anybody look for an invisible ink to see if maybe the real message was completely hidden?
Oh, I've seen that in National Treasure. You got to get some lime juice.
None of these theories have been widely supported due to lack of consistency. Methodical and computer based analysis have been applied to the Rohonc Codex, but none have produced a definitive translation. Researchers have reached some widely accepted conclusions about the manuscript's internal structure, and those findings have weakened the idea that the book is a modern hoax. Further study may clarify its origins and meaning. But for now, the Codex remains an unsolved textual clue to aspects of the past. Two books, two sealed voices, the Voynich manuscript and the Rohonc Codex, each is a compact world of unreadable script, strange images, and stubborn provenance that resists tidy explanation. Both texts invite the same practice: close looking, patient cataloging, and the willingness to live with unanswered questions. They act less as puzzles to be finished than as companions for curiosity, teaching us how to read mystery itself.
You know what?
Hmm.
These are probably the kinds of books that we don't want the villains to get, because I imagine in my head, I'm thinking that a villain probably has these. You would have these pages in like floating in some sort of fluid, and they're constantly scanning it. And they have like the good guy enters the room, and he's got like this big wide room with all these canisters all around them with all the every page in it, and they're like, "This is how we're getting to Doomsday," and this is the whole thing. So maybe it's better that we don't translate this.
You had your coffee today. Give bread.
I'm just saying. These pages are something for villains.
Okay, don't let the bad guys get it. Okay. That's funny though. Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Leave keeping your wonder active. Note a single detail that lingers and return to it later. The manuscripts do not yield answers quickly. They reward those who listen more than those who demand. And maybe turn it upside down.